it should be live any second now.
Yeah, now I would say that if you had it, a recording from there too.
Well, I tried that last time, remember? But you could barely hear the volume on the phone, so that's why I didn't put it back up. But we live.
Okay. All right, that's what it is. That's what it is.
We'll play with that next time. But if Q and Michael get a chance to join us, they'll hop in. If not, we got it. I think we've been running with it.
I think so.
I think so. So, you remember last week's topics where we left off?
Refresh my memory. Okay. Of course I do, but refresh my memory.
Well, let me go back and pull them up myself. But I know we left off talking about does size matter?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna bring that back up in a minute because I found a reel and it was going in on the comments.
Okay.
And then there was, have we missed out on our potential partners because our expectations were unrealistic?
Yeah.
We was a little crazy.
I think a lot of people lost because of that, yes.
And then we talked about bringing back the topic of dating with special needs kids.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't really talk about that because I don't have kids, and I've never dated anyone with special needs kids, but I have worked with a lot of special needs kids. So I don't know. That's, I'm gonna reserve my comments on that one because I know that could be a touchy subject.
Well, one thing about it, it don't make no difference how touchy it is. We definitely don't mean it coming from no bad. You know what I'm saying? They coming from a bad place because, I know we're in a world now where a lot of people, what they say, the woke culture, but I think that when people say that, they really took it away from what it actually meant.
Mm-hmm.
From what woke really means. Like woke is actually just being aware.
I agree.
Like somebody saying you're being paranoid, you're just aware of what's going on around you.
I agree.
And I think people, and they made it political and they kind of changed it and switched it a little bit different because it's touching on a lot of things that people feel like near and dear to them, but it don't mean shit. So, because the truth is the truth and how people present it, I think is what matters because you don't want to be insensitive, but at the same time, 5 + 5 is 10, whether you get offended or not, that's just what it is. Yeah. So if we're talking about something that makes sense, that's actually informative and is making and is truthful. Mm-hmm. In fact, in fact based. I don't think it's a problem in it because even with some of the opinions that we give, it don't necessarily mean that it's wrong, but of course it can be your opinion, but a lot of this stuff is fact.
I agree with you on that. I tend to shy away from that word woke anyway. Mm-hmm. And I laugh when people try to use it or the consciousness or the whole, I hate it when I see people get the literal talking in their comments, like I see you and they spelling out EYE, mm-hmm. I see you, or I overstand, like, okay, you're doing too much now. Just can we have a conversation without trying to be so intellectual?
But you got to remember too, some people also just really just trying to what's the word I'm looking for? A lot of people are just trying to fit in.
Now that's true.
A lot of people try to fit in or simply just sound fat.
That's true.
And a lot of times you just have to kind of decipher some of those things, even if you're not interested, because unfortunately we're in a world that the motherfuckers exist. So to me, I'm a great decipherer.
A decipherer.
I'm a decipherer. I'm a great decipherer, So when people come with their own ways on how they view things, it's not a problem for me because I'm like, I don't have to buy into your ideology.
Very true.
But I can hear you out, but I don't have to buy into it. And I think that's where a lot of times we mess up as people. We go to looking at it and buy into their ideology instead of just riding what you know and be like, okay, I can see your point. I just don't agree with it.
Now, don't get me wrong, because I don't typically just cut people off because they're saying something I don't like. Now, I give you a shot. I will give most people a shot. I'll listen to you. We can have some conversation. We can really dig into it. But if it gets to the point where you're trying to be too intellectual and you can't have a basic conversation because you're trying to use a whole lot of words and you're trying to sound educated and you're trying to sound high and mighty and conscious and woke, then it's like,
Well, you got to keep in mind though, because I'm not gonna say they're doing too much. I always try to stay in the middle with it. I'm not gonna say they're trying to do too much. You got to remember they're only doing what they know.
Yes.
Because you got to remember, if you've been knowing trigonometry for the last 20 years, and these people just kind of heard about it in the last 2, they're gonna talk like it's something new because it's something that they're not familiar with. So you, myself, others, as the mature ones, should just be like, okay, that's like you a senior in high school arguing with a nigga in the first.
That's true. That's why I walk away.
So, and then sometimes it ain't good to walk away. Sometimes it's let me tell you what, sometimes when those people cross your path, you may be the correcting piece.
You could be if they're open to it, and that's the real challenge. Is this person open to what you're saying? Are they listening with the intent to hear and process and reflect, or are they listening with the intent to respond and prove you wrong and stand on their laurels?
Well,
you know what I'm saying?
And they might. But one thing about it, truth is really one of those things where it's like, I can hear you out and I can hear everything you say, because I'm going to listen very well. But 5 + 5 is 10. I don't care what you came up with. That's what it is. And then once you know and you standing solid in your truth, you can't be moved.
Yeah.
Like for an example, like one of the big debates or big conversations rather, now is talking about what is a woman.
That's intense. Yeah.
That's not even debatable to me. What is a man? It's not even debatable. Now, I do agree with this. If you want to say whatever you choose to be, you can be a Rottweiler if you want. You can be a chow. You can be a moose. You can be an eel, an owl, a tree. I'm not going to argue with you on that.
Yeah.
But you can't convince me to buy into your ideology, because I do understand what that is. And, that's what they start using woke for, but that's not woke. That's delusional.
What?
That's just real. I mean, like I said, because, and that ain't me, what I'm saying, pooping on nobody. That's just not realistic.
I mean, I get, I struggle with that. And here's why. I genuinely believe that each one of us should have the opportunity to live as peacefully as we can in the ways that make sense to us, right? So I have different friends that are across the spectrum of sexuality and gender, ideas. And so I try my best to remind myself, okay, what are their pronouns? How do they prefer to be referred to? What feels safe for them? Because I want people that are willing to create safeness for me, right? But I do struggle with that whole concept of what is a woman, because do I have the right to tell a friend of mine that says, or anybody for that matter, because, if I know anybody that says, well, I was born a man, but now I identify as female, whether they've had surgery or not. That's a great spot for me, because I'm like, okay, I want to be respectful. I want to honor it, but I feel like it diminishes.
But my thing is, though, and I promise you, anybody know me know I care nothing about what you choose or what you prefer. But you can't make me buy into your ideology, man. I don't care nothing about that. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like the worst thing in the world is to continue to carry on a lie. Yeah. And it takes a strong person to stand up against it. You're gonna be called a bigot. You're gonna be called you're what's the word I'm looking for? You insensitive and all that. But my thing is, if a dude's saying I'm a woman, that's fine for you to believe that. But all I got to call you is your name. I can't call you something that is like, now you want me to buy into the same delusion. I'm not going to do that, because
not that conversation.
I mean, we're talking about it now. I mean, if a person's name is Robert, I'm going to call you Robert.
But what if they say, but I go by Stacy now?
Okay. But that's just a name. I call you Stacy, but and a woman. If you clearly a man, I'm not going to call you.
I mean, I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, it's a struggle for me. I get it.
I ain't gonna even much lie. I don't want to sound crazy, but it's not a struggle for me at all. It's not a struggle. But at the same time, that don't mean that I'm willing to just outright disrespect somebody for that choice either. But because you say something that you want to change and want people to buy into your decision, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. I'm just simply not gonna do it. All right. So watch it. Let's take it even further. I know a lot of people tiptoe around this, but like I said, God knows I'm not coming from a bad place.
Well, this is after dark, so let's go.
But I'm not gonna lie. If you had a child, would you agree with them saying those same things, or would you tiptoe around it?
Because I don't have children, I think that's a subject that I've never come to a clear place of what I could or would do. I want to say that I would be safe enough to my child to give them the choice once I felt like they were old enough to make it, once they were old enough to communicate. But then you come to the question of what's old enough. Because you have parents that are letting their 3-year-olds decide that they want to dress as the opposite gender or change their name. You have parents that are letting their 12-year-olds go to school as the opposite sex, and the school is, working with them. And so that's just such a nuanced conversation that I don't know if I have the understanding of parenthood from the outside looking in to really say.
See
But I
that's
would hope that I would let my child decide.
that's an amazing conversation to me. Well, first of all, it ain't an option in my house until you become an adult and you can make that decision.
Mhm.
Because as a parent, my job is to teach them well and let them know. My job is to tell them the truth.
Had to bring out Whitney. All right, then.
That's my job, is to tell them the truth. So it's like, regardless of how you feel, I understand that, son. I understand that, daughter. I understand that. But it's not my job to lie to you just because you feel a certain kind of way. Because you got to remember now, children think they can fly. They think they're Spider-Man. They think they're Batman. They think they can jump off a building and land on their feet like a cat. But you know, as an adult, very well, that's not true. Do you let them ride with that? So why would you let them ride with something you know not true just to appease society? And I think that's what a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are just trying to appease what's popular now. And in my prediction, in 10, 15, 20 years, a lot of people are going to be mad at the people for carrying on that line. Wow. Because at some point, you realize that this wasn't what was happening.
See, and that's my concern with kids. Right. Honestly, that's my concern with kids. I think kids are a lot more intuitive, tuned in, and have a lot more intelligence than sometimes we give them credit for. But just because kids are expressive and creative and trying to figure out what that looks like and what that means for themselves and in the context of their surroundings and in the world, doesn't necessarily mean that they want to be a completely different version of themselves. So that's always my fear when I see kids that are so young and the parents are creating opportunity for it to be expressed. What happens? Because that does happen sometimes. What happens when that kid gets to about 15, 16, 18, 25, and it's like, I don't want it. I don't change my mind. But now you can't go back because you done took all these hormones and had this gender reassignment. Or you got to go through that process to undo it if you haven't had the surgery and try to let your body go back. It's a lot.
It's because somebody carried on the lie. As a parent, your job is to, because children are going, and you gotta ease them back in. Then it ain't got to be being mean or nothing like that. But like my father, he's been self-employed pretty much all my life. Okay. And if I was doing something that was, let's just say, that wasn't right, that can cause harm to me.
Yeah.
Hey son, look, that ain't how that go. This and that. Oh, okay. And even if I didn't want to hear it, I heard it. So it's the same thing with that. You got a 3-year-old or a 5-year-old saying that, you know what? I feel like I'm a girl. And the parent ride along with that.
Yeah.
To me, I believe do whatever you want, but that don't make it right. Okay. Because my thing is we supposed to guide the generation that come behind us, whether it's our children, nieces, nephews, or younger people. Our job is simply to tell them the truth. Now, notice I'm not saying you can't do it, but that don't make it right. And I think as a parent, you got to stand on principle.
But truth is the key word. Truth is relative, isn't it?
No, the truth is true. The truth is the truth. I mean, that's just real. You know what I'm saying? Because see, that's when we get into a gray area where people trying to make it when they are your truth and my truth and that truth. No, it's such thing as a truth for everybody. But now your truth can be, well, he or she lives that way, that's the way they do it. He or she live that way, that's the way they do it. But they also know that. And the reason, and I'm gonna give you this example, because I do a lot of reading. Okay. And I'm a very fair person because I'm a businessman. I'm very fair, and anybody will tell you that. But I ain't gonna lie to them either. And they'll tell you that too. You don't want to hear the truth, don't say that shit to Benny, man. Because I feel like as a friend, my job is to tell you the truth. Now, if you made a choice to do what you want, that's fine. But you can't sit there and try to make it true to me because that's what you chose. So when it come down, like I say, going back to children, you got children saying, I feel like, I'm just going to use this for an example. I feel like I'm a boy. I feel like I'm a girl. When damn well you know they're not. Then they say, well, I want to take some hormone pills so I can not do this or not do that and obstruct the natural process of the body, right? Okay. All right, so you go along with that. Then they get to a certain age and it's like, damn, no, I don't like this no more. Them folks will resent you.
And that's
because you rode along with a lie. You knew it was a lie. And furthermore, with that, all right, you will let a child make that decision? They can't even drink. They can't even join the military. They can't buy cigarettes. They can't drive. But you'll let them make a life-altering decision that you know is going to alter their life. See, what people don't want to face the reality of, also look at the rates of mental illness behind that. Look at the rates of suicide behind that. And these ain't my words. These are numbers that everybody can look at. Right. So, but notice now, I never said when you get to a certain age and you out my residence, man, you can be a horse. You can run around this hole on all four with a mane on. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool. But my job as a responsible man for my children, I have to tell, I've been instructed and put that responsible bestowed on thee to tell the truth. Now, whatever they do, yeah, I'm gonna still love you, but you know that truth. And one thing about that truth, you always come back to it.
So that being said, let's flip it, because on the alternate side of that, or opposite side of that, you know, I do work with different people across the spectrum, right? Mm-hmm. So I've worked with transgender, I've worked with transsexual, I've worked with non-binary, all of it. And so I've had clients that were male that transitioned to female, and I've had clients that were female that transitioned to male. Mm-hmm. And I've been able to see the difference in them pre-surgery, pre-hormones, when they were still living a life that they thought was a lie, right? A life that was painful for them, that didn't really recognize who they felt like they were or see them as they were. Mm-hmm. And I've seen that version of them versus post-op, post-hormone, or, you know, after taking the hormones for a while, body changes, voice changes, looks change, and they feel like they become more of the representation that they see of themselves. Now the world can see it. And I've seen that happiness go up. I've seen the joy go up, the peace settle in. I've seen the depression and the anxiety lighten, and mental health issues that were exacerbated before that calm down. So that's why I struggle with that line, because again, I always look at, I want to give every person the respect. As long as you ain't hurt me or trying to cause harm to the people I love, I try to give people the respect that whatever you do, you like it, I love it. You love it, I like it. Rock with it. But I do struggle with where we started was what defines a woman, because I feel like, you know, I was born female, genitalia wise, anatomically, DNA and all of that. So for umpteen years, I had to deal with the monthly cycles and all the things that it means to be female. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So when I hear, like, we'll use Bruce Jenner as an example. Mm-hmm. When he got the Woman of the Year award, I was like, what the fuck?
Okay, so that pretty much,
like, I mean, you get like that. I struggle with that.
So watch this. You knew it was a lie. That's why you struggle with it. You ain't struggling with it because of his choice. You struggle with it because you know it's a lie. That these people, all these magnificent women, white, black, brown, light skin, red, yellow,
y'all chose his ass.
And you choose a dude
right
to be the Woman of the Year. Be honest with you, that shit should be insulting.
It was. But that's what I struggle with.
But why though would you struggle with it if you know it ain't right? But I'm not saying that a person can't make their choice. I'm clear on that.
Right.
If a person is happy with it, that's cool. But that don't mean I have to buy into it. That just means I can respect that. Well, that's what they want to do.
I think for me, there are just some boundaries and lines. Like the whole discussion of and I can't think of any specific examples, but I know in the past few years we've had some women that wanted to compete in the more male-dominated sports, and I think haven't we had some transgender men that wanted to compete in female sports?
And you know damn well
that's just not balanced. It's not even.
But why is it so? That goes back to what I said. What the truth is, you can say I'm a dude, or you can say I'm a girl. You can do that.
Yeah.
But you know damn well, and to yourself, you know that's not true.
Yeah.
But you can holler loud as you want, and you can try to convince people of that. But the only way it becomes valid to other people if they accept it. So what I'm saying is, I don't have a problem with nobody and what they choose, but that don't make it the truth though. Because I don't have a problem with it. Because great example, what you said about female, I'm a male. Well, I tell you what, go play for the 49ers.
Right.
Let basketball, NBA, be co-ed. LeBron them will beat skin up off their ass. And you know this. Why? Because one's a woman and one's a man. Same thing in football, same thing in soccer, same thing in a lot of things. And I'm not saying I love women. I know women are great. They're great assets to the society, but women are women, men are men. Now, what do you choose on the outside of that? That's your choice. But the truth is, you know what your ass is.
So we got a question. How would you explain parents who see their children who exhibit opposite gender roles, feminine males and masculine females? That's an intense topic as well, because if we look at the spectrum of sexuality, of gender identity, I think it's fluid. This is why I think you can see women, and I'll use myself as an example since we stand here talking, and then I'm gonna throw you in the hot seat. I am not.
You ain't never hot.
You see, they never hot.
I bet you that.
You know, I'm not. I probably will never ever be accused of being a soft woman, right? Case in point, when I walked in today, the other barber that was in here walked out. I helped you pick this thing up and bring it in here. And I didn't shy away from it. I'm used to physical activities. I'm used to moving. I'm active. You get what I'm saying? So I probably will never be accused of being a soft woman. That doesn't mean that I don't have my softer sides or softer aspects of my personality. Yesterday, I don't know if you got a chance to see the live, but I did live on Facebook yesterday, and this guy in the comments said, I didn't know you talk like that. And I said, what? Explain it to me. What was I saying? And he said, oh, you were cussing. And then he said, you know, you were just being a little aggressive. Hey, it was relevant to my topic. You're going to get what you need to get from me based on what I'm talking about, the situation, the context, and the point that I'm trying to prove. Love a good juice cuss word is motherfucking seasoning to my goddamn soul. That being said, you get what I'm saying? Nevertheless, I'm still a woman, just maybe a little bit differently presented. You as a man, I would say that you come across to me as a typical masculine man, but you not out here just digging mud holes like, I'm gonna show you I'm a man. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Because there's fluidity.
Because that don't define a man as a man.
True. And that's my point.
I mean, because I know how to wash dishes, clean up. I know how to do what they call the traditional roles. I do all of that. But the fact still remains, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like me, I don't define roles like, hey, you got to do that. You got to. No, it ain't nothing like that. But I do believe that if I'm married to a woman, I don't want her out there doing no roofing work and I'm in that bed wiping down the stove.
Oh, listen.
You
better understand.
Now, can she say, hey, baby, let me help you do this? Yes, but before I really allow her to do that, I feel like my job as being that masculine being is that it's certain stuff that I wouldn't want my woman doing. But now if I'm down and I can't do it and she say, well, hey, I already know how to do it, that's fine. But I'm not going to require her to do that because she's a woman.
Right.
Can she do it? Yes. Would she like to do it? No.
Right.
Give you another example. I hear a lot of people saying about we all equal. We are equal. As in opportunities and all that. We are equal. But let's be for real. When people say, when women say, hey, we equal, we're going to do all this stuff equal. You don't see too many women plumbers.
You don't see
too many women plumbers. You don't see too many women electricians. You don't see too many women around here laying asphalt. You don't see too many women around here doing a lot of stuff that they would call masculine. All right, now let's flip it. Why, when we go to holler and all this equal stuff, why wouldn't a woman say, you know what? We're going to go out and be the plumbers. We're going to go out here and put these rules up. And I'm not saying that they can't. I don't want nobody to mistake me and think that, oh, they can't. But realistically, our body structure and makeup is different.
Well, that's my point. That's why I use the example of this
Even
little
with a
thing.
surgery.
Right? Very true. Now, if he had still been inside, what do I do when there's other people in here with you? I sit my ass right to the side and watch y'all get it set up.
But why? Why?
Because
Why?
I feel like if there's something heavy duty or laborious and it's a man around, I am happy to sit still and let y'all do it. That's why I said there's the fluidity and the expression. Fuck equal.
Oh, well, now it's fuck equal. Oh, now it's fuck equal. Okay.
Now, that's why I said you ain't gonna never catch me really talking about feminism from the standpoint of we all equal. No.
I think feminism was a trick. But go ahead and say it. I'm gonna tell you why I say it. I'm gonna tell you why I say it.
I'm with you on that too. And that's my point. It's fluid. It's fluidity in the expression of our masculinity and our femininity because we all operate within both of them. And I think the job of every individual is to make sure that you find the balance that makes sense for you. So if I gotta help move to his shit, let's go. But if it's a man around, I am happy to sit still and let you handle it. Like, bottom line, what's the first thing I'm finna do when my tire goes flat? Call the man. I'm not gonna get my ass out there.
Why you say no, my nigga? I'm good. I'm pull it. Let me go and pump them. I'm not, but that's what I'm saying though, because I'm fair. I had a strong mother and I had a strong father. But at the same time, certain stuff, call your daddy. You know what I'm saying? You know, and people, they keep on trying to act like it's not differences between us. Notice I never said what can't be done, but that don't mean that it's not a difference between those two. You know, like my wife, yeah, she'll come out and help if I ask her. If I say, look, I need your help to lift this. Yeah, she'll do it, but that don't mean I ain't wanted to. If it's a dude walking down the street I ain't never seen before, she may be like, hey, excuse me, sir, could you
exactly
if necessary? Because I just think that men and women, they have distinctive parts about them that make them unique. A woman is super fine, but a man is too.
Agree.
You know, so that's why I said, like, even go to sports, make basketball co-ed.
Well, going back to the consideration of gender norms or gender roles. Because again, if I get a flat tire, I'm not jumping. Now, I know how to change a tire. I learned how to change it in college in case I ever had to.
Yeah.
I've never had to, though.
I want you to know it.
Right. I ain't never had to because I always had AAA or insurance coverage or whatever it was. And as long as I got a man, I'm finna call him and, hey, baby, where you at? And if he can't get to me, I'm calling the insurance, right? I'm just, I don't think to myself, let me go do that. I don't need him. I've never been the type to say, I don't need a man. Men serve their purpose just like women do.
Yeah.
Right? And so on top of that, let's look at, okay, so I'm gonna say
this. Try to feel it. You said it's out the dog, and now you trying to put a filter.
Everything goes.
Now you trying to put a filter on it.
Well, let's look at the gender norms with financial, right? Because I'm your equal intellectually, right? We can talk, we can communicate, we can vibe, but there are certain things that I have an expectation of. So this leads us into one of the questions we started with. Do we miss our potential partner, spouse, mate, etc., because of expectations? I am not a woman that has ever, nor will I ever go 50-50 with a man. Now, I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm not saying it's bad. And I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. Different strokes for different folks. I've had people that I knew that did it. Some of them loved it. Some of them didn't like it. Me, I feel like as long as that masculine, that male energy is present in my life and he's taking up space in my life, there are certain things that you should be willing to do and want to do to make my life easier, to lift the burden off my shoulders in certain ways. And I'm willing to do that from the space of what I have to offer as well. But it should be complimentary. If I got to sit down with you at the dinner table and you like, baby, the electric bill is $300. So I'm gonna need you to go on and cash at me that $150. Say what now? No. If I got to take the trash out and he's sitting his ass on the sofa watching TV, no. Like there still are certain expectations.
Well, I mean, but you saying that, and I get what you're saying. But all these people go to heart and all the equal. Okay, I get it. We are, but that doesn't mean it's not different. Like, for an example, the military.
Yes.
They holler all this equal stuff in the military. I agree, but I believe that you get paid for what you do. If a woman is doing that same job, yes, she deserves every penny. But don't get this same job, but then they like, well, she a woman, man. You got to go over there and move that stuff. No, move them missiles yourself. If we get the same pay, you know what I'm saying? No, and I'm saying, and I believe in fairness across the board. But to deny that it's not differences or this stuff don't exist is making us a society of people who are just liars. Nobody likes to say it like that. This is making us cold, hard-blooded liars.
Well, you do say that the average person lies.
Yes, the average person lies, and then they lie so much, it's starting to become a truth to them. And that's not true, and that ain't right.
Yeah.
And I think somebody got to be around here with some sense.
Well, I think that's part of the issue when it comes to dating and communication and relationships, because we're not being honest, right? So, for example, I had a friend some years ago, married for quite a long time. They were doing 50-50. And when they brought it to me, you know, when she brought it to me to talk about it, I was like, well, I mean, I don't have, and not my monkey, not my circus. I ain't got a judgment. If you like it, I love it. Well, she didn't like it. And I kept telling her, well, that's great. I could be your safe space. I'll listen. But you telling me that you don't like it and being bitter with him ain't fixing it. Meanwhile.
Now that's interesting. That's a whole different twist. Because in a relationship, whether you want to believe it or not, it can be 50-50. But if it's 50-50, it don't always have to be financial.
And that's very true.
But the thing is, for me to define it, it's going to be some differences and there's going to be some hard conversations. Because the average woman, now not speaking for all, but the average woman would look at it like, you pay the bills, you the man. I go and pay the water bill, I can buy the tissue, the paper towels, and all that shit like that. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But if y'all divorce, she wants 50.
You won't have alimony.
So for a man to say, hey man, no, shit, I want 50. You shouldn't have no problem with that either.
Well,
if that's your mindset, that's only if that's your mindset. Because my thing is, I always believe that the man or the woman can be the head. Both of them are the head. But you also know who's gonna take the bulk of that responsibility.
Right.
If somebody finna break in that house, every now and then you say, hey, I'm gonna get up in the chicken. You gotta be willing to do that too now. It can't be 50-50 when it just come to money.
No, I'm with you. So going back to that example for just a minute, it was literally, that's why I use the example, baby, electric bill $300. I'm gonna need you to send me that $150. Say what now? No.
But what does she require of him? Baby, ooh, this top flat. I need you to get up in the middle of the night. Ooh, no, I'm just saying, in most cases, it's like that.
Could be. In that situation, it wasn't that either. So he wasn't even the type of dude you could call for that. So and that's why I think there was some bitterness, because it wasn't balancing itself out. Like, okay, we're splitting it here, but you're giving me that masculine in other ways, right? That make me feel safe and protected. And I can't speak for all women, but that's what most of us want. We want to feel like if you're going to be that masculine, yes, you are the physical, stronger specimen. I want to feel safe and protected.
That's true. Now, but your ass got the mind too. You got the mind too.
That's where my issue come in there, because I don't mind.
That's where your issue.
I don't mind.
But see, what it is, you have a problem with the word, but it's only saying that you got to respect that masculine energy too.
Absolutely.
So, AKA, you got the mind.
And see, this is why communication is key. Because
bottom line.
Now, so I discovered when I was married, I don't really like cooking like that. And it was interesting for me because I love to cook. What I didn't like was the expectation that I had to cook every day. But here's the issue.
You don't want nobody to say nothing to your ass.
You don't. But I had to choke it down and do it, because I set that standard by starting it that way. Like, hey, you working, you covering the bulk of things. I'll get in the kitchen to cook. I'll make sure you got your stuff ready in the morning. I'll make sure you got your lunch pack. I started it, and I'm a firm believer. If you start it, you should be willing to finish it. So I kept it up. But I learned from that experience, and I said, next time I have to more clearly communicate. You know what? I'm not really the person that wants to get in the kitchen every day and cook. Now, if you're doing other things that make my life easier and food is part of your love language, I will gladly make sure that you have food every day, whether I'm cooking it, whether I'm ordering it and it's delivered, whether I'm going to pick it up. And sometimes I might say, babe, I'm a little tired. Can you get it? But if that's the thing, I'll gladly do that. in variation.
Do you think Robert like cutting the grass all the time?
You need old ass name.
Hey, I'm my old ass man. Do you think Robert like to cut the grass? Do you think Robert like to pay the mortgage? Do you think Robert like to fix the roof all the time?
But that's why I said in variation. Now, if he's doing all of that for me and he said, baby, all you got to do is make sure I got food to eat, baby gonna make sure he got food to eat every day. Just baby may not cook it every day.
In some cases, because a lot of women, once they get to a point where they hollering what they ain't gonna do, fellas, put the deuces up. She ain't gonna mind. But ain't gonna even waste your time.
Why communication? Because again, if Robert Earl, as you like to call him, if Robert Earl come and say, baby, listen, Willie Earl. Okay, Willie Earl.
It is Robert. It is Willie Earl.
Okay, Willie Earl and Robert come and say, baby, I got all of this, but food is where I want you to really handle it. I don't want to cook. That ain't my thing. Can you handle the kitchen? Now, if he has stepped up to say, I'm taking all of this off of you. You ain't got to worry about it. I got it. Baby, go make sure he got a nutritious meal every night. I might not cook it every night.
Only if you mind.
But he gonna get what he asking for.
In my profession,
in your profession,
being a barber for 26 years professionally, 30 years total. I've heard situations where a guy, he paid the bills, he cut the grass, he bought the cars, and he was like, I don't even want my lady to work. Now, if she wanted to work, she could have. But guess what? You know what it turned into when he started asking her shit? Oh, you're trying to control me. You trying to... No, he's trying to control you. It's an expectation because I have a job to do. You have a job to do too. You bullshitting on this job. And when I say something to you, you throw out trigger words like I'm trying to control you to make me shut the fuck up. And that ain't right.
It's got to be a give and take.
Instead of saying, well, this house is nasty, motherfucker. I didn't wash these clothes. This clothes stacked on shit. The clothes are spoiled in the washer. If he's holding that down, you have a job too. So it can still be 50-50 without the finances ever coming up. But are you willing to make sure all of that is taken care of?
Now that I wholeheartedly agree. I look at, again, I've shared with you all, I look at relationships as transactional. That's how they make sense to me. If I'm willing to go to this job or work with this client and let them pay me a certain wage in order to fulfill certain obligations for them, certain work, certain services, products, whatever for them, then I should be more than willing in the relationship with that masculine energy to say, what is it that he says he's willing to give me? What is it that he's asking me? Let's negotiate so we're both coming to the table, understanding what our deal breakers, our must-haves, our gray areas, because I want you to be fulfilled and satisfied. Because if I really want you, shit, I'm trying to hold on to you.
I'm glad you said that when you mentioned that about the job. The average woman, when she go to work, she gonna mind. She gonna see that word again.
That word again.
She's gonna show up on time. She's gonna do her job to the best of her ability, and some of her she's gonna overdo that job because she loves her job. And that white man, that black man, that Mexican man, that Chinese woman, whomever is in charge of that job, whether supervisor, owner, whatever, you gonna mind. But somebody who's taking care of all this stuff for you, you give a hard time. But that's man or woman though. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's not an unbalanced thing for me. Is if you're gonna mind them, why you gonna sit down and fuss with the person who really investing in you and you getting up off that cat too?
Well, see, and that's my point. I feel like if I'm willing to ask you, baby, make sure the trash, I don't want to try to drag it down this damn hill, to the end of the driveway. Baby, handle the trash. If I'm willing to expect you to make sure that my tires change, baby, blah, blah, blah. If I'm willing to expect you to make sure that grass is cut, make sure that roof is handled, make sure whatever's, then I feel like I should, as your opposite and your equal in the feminine balance, be willing to say, if you're offering me protection, safety, and providership, how can I offer you nurturing and safety so that you can rest your burdens down as well? So there's a give and take. I've known people that said the husband wanted to do all the cooking. She kept the house. He still wanted to do all the cooking. And he still did, the labor stuff. So it's the division of labor, but people have to be willing to talk about it. And too many people fucking and falling into marriage like it's a booby trap and then being like, they changed on me. No, we didn't know each other.
Because they've been lied.
Because people are lying. We'll put that mask on and be like, I'm going to be everything you want me to be. And then we're mad when that person actually expects us to back that shit up. That's what I think.
But the killing part, I think that now I'm gonna speak for the man. I don't have a cat, so I'm gonna speak for the gentleman. Men, from what I see, the men that I know, I say that the men that I know are stand-up guys. When they start this stuff, a lot of that stuff is not gonna be verbalized; it's gonna be shown.
That I agree with.
Because love is an action; it's not just a set of words.
That I agree with.
So when he decide, I'm gonna pay these bills, I'm gonna cut this grass, I'm gonna fix this roof, I'm gonna tighten up the switch on. Men do a lot of stuff you never even see.
That's true.
You know, like whether it's tighten up the lock, tighten up the water, tighten up this stuff that you never have to worry about. He's not gonna say it. His love is just gonna make him do it.
Yeah.
But a woman want to talk about something that she don't want to do. Do the damn job. She want to talk about, well, see what it is. See, I don't feel like cooking tonight, Robert. I don't want to cook Robert in there. Well, shit, what if he said, I don't want to pay your motherfucking car note.
Yeah.
I don't want to fix your tire. That's your car.
Yeah.
But he'll be considered a HAN.
Then a lot, yeah.
And a HAN is acronym for hoe ass nigga. So what I'm saying is, men don't have that option because now it's a double-edged sword. One hand, speak your mind, but if the average man spoke his mind, it'd be a lot of enough single men out here.
So I'm gonna flip it.
Because women a lot of time ain't the biggest fan of that A word.
But I'm gonna flip it.
Accountability.
Because I ain't got a penis, but I've seen it too many
times. I hope I got that. You better not be sitting up here with no dick on you. You sit up here with a dick on you, goddamn. I might have gone on ping, 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 your ass. Ping, 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 ping.
I ain't got one. I ain't last time I checked, I ain't got one. But I'm gonna flip it because it's a lot of men doing the same thing.
But notice I said the men that I know.
Right, right.
There's a lot of HANs out here.
It's a lot of them. It's a lot of hoe ass women too, right?
Oh yeah, hogs. There's a lot of hogs. You right.
They all out there. Because I've seen some women step up to the plate. Everything he said he wanted, she gave. But it was never enough. It's always, well, you didn't do this. Well, I would give you this if you would just do this. Well, I would do that for you if you would just. It's a lot of manipulation in those processes.
It might just not been the right person for him.
Right. So that's why I'm like, we got to sit down and talk because you get the fucking and we understand feelings start coming into the mix. I don't care what most guys, I can fuck 30 women and not give a damn. That may be true for some, but I think the average normal human being that has a healthy mental process going on, they're going to start to develop feelings just like most women will. And so when you get to the point of intimacy, this is why we have a lot of problems because we're not really in love with the person. We in dick mode or pussy mode. We in love with that. You feel what I'm saying? So then we start lying to them and we start lying to ourselves.
You could be in love with the potential though.
The potential.
Because even to get to that level sexually is something that you saw in Earl.
Very true.
That you was like, he good, but he may be great. It
Very
just
true.
may not be for your ass.
Very true.
He may be great, but be like, man, I don't fuck with Jay like that. I just
Very
want something that look cat, little head, and send on about her way. But I've been messing with her so long, they'll throw you a couple trinkets. But the same thing for a woman.
Very true.
Like the reason why I say it's such a unfair situation because the world we live in, people accept lies.
Yeah.
Like I know you're talking about what the man do, but let's flip it. I done heard a situation where a woman met a guy. She had 2 children. He didn't have any. They kicked it. He just mad in love with her because that's who he wanted. He like, boom, help her, get her life together, send her to school. All the time she ain't working. Took care of her children as they his own. They end up having 1. So that means he was like, I got 3 children. He adopted those children. You know what she did? She slaughtered them.
Oh.
Child support for 3 children, left him, had to get up all his wealth and all that. Now, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So basically, she played him the whole time. She got her life together and she moved on. Now, later on in life, when she get a little older and that cat ain't working like it once was, them thighs ain't tight as they would, that face go to falling like that, like hot ice cream, then she gonna realize, like, damn, I done fucked over her. But it's too late at that point.
So back to the expectations, because do we fuck ourselves up by being malicious or wearing that mask, choosing a partner that we know we have no intention of really doing right by?
People do that if they fucked up too, though, Jay.
Right, hurt people.
No, not because they hurt, it's because they fucked up financially.
I mean that too.
Steeler might have needed somewhere to stay.
There's an opportunist around every corner.
Steeler got 2 children. She stayed with her mama in a 2-bedroom house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
A lot of them will just be like, fuck it, I play the role. I may grow the little Earl, but it never does. But you made sure your children were straight. You made sure you got your life straight. And then one day she like, fuck him.
That's true.
Which is wrong.
I can't even argue with you. I mean, you're right.
But guys too, like I said, in all fairness, now, because I'm not unfair, guys do the same shit. I don't really like Jay, but Jay got a warm house. It was 13 degrees the other night. I love the shit out you if I'm staying outside at 13 degrees. But what happens when I get some money and they warm up?
Oh my God.
Stretch your face out as long as I 20.
I'm gonna throw you back in the hot seat in the middle of it. Get back into
my feet ain't never
hot.
It ain't never hot.
Foster says some men want home cooked meals. Yes. Carson, you said that's because he did not get a clear understanding of what he expects in the relationship, and she did not either. You were dating their representative and not the real person. So after the wedding, now it's a problem. Very true. Like I said,
Speak. Who that?
That's Carson.
Carson! Hey, goddamn Carson. That's what I'm talking about.
I think we fall in love. I love what you said about potential. I think we fall in love with the representative or the mask, what we assume based on lack of information. And we fall in love with the lust, the chemistry. We confuse chemistry and possible connection for love.
But I think in order to get to the love, you got to have some chemistry, though.
I mean,
they work hand in hand.
But one doesn't necessarily mean the other's going to be long lasting or healthy. You can have great chemistry and be toxic as fuck together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you can have great chemistry, but that's when I go back to what I always say: the average person is a liar. Because great lust can turn into some great lies too, because you want to keep that good lust going on.
And this is a good comment. Or you are in love with the idea of a happily ever after. How many women, and somebody said that was a top behavior. How many women are idealized into the thought that I just got to get the ring? I just got to get the man before a certain age. I need to go on and get this degree or go on and get this man so I ain't got to worry about college and really building no career, have a couple of babies. So in case it don't work out, I got that alimony and that child. You know what I'm saying?
Like to me, like
how many men are socialized into that as well? Get the wife, get the trophy, get the kids. So you got the pretty picture. So it looks great on the outside.
But one thing about it, going back to what you just said about the alimony and all that, women are way more treacherous than men. And I'm going to say that. And now, of course, that's my personal belief. I'm going to tell you why. Not because of what I heard. I'm telling you what I see and what I see. Like, how many times have you heard a dude where he done caught his woman cheating and he go down to the courthouse saying, I want alimony, I want my children, I want the house. I ain't going to say you never heard it, but you rarely hear that. You rarely hear that. A man get cheated on a lot of times from what I've seen in my profession, they'll stay because of the embarrassment. They'll stay because they don't want everybody to know that he got tricked. And if it do fall off, he don't go down there fighting for no goddamn child support. He don't go down there fighting for no alimony. He say, you know what?
He fighting for the kid.
Well, because she's fighting for him because there's a monetary value to that, unless they grown.
But a lot of women don't fight for the child support. A lot of women say, I got it. But I want to see, why aren't more men going to court and saying, I want my kids too, or I want 50-50?
Because even though a lot of times, from what I say, and I'm not saying there's no cases like this, but most cases I've heard where dude get cheated on, he may stay for whatever reason. But if for whatever reason they go their separate ways, man, just give me my child. I ain't worried about it. I don't even want to be bothered with him. But a lot of times she gonna say, give me that child, because she know Earl make $100,000 a year plus or a nice amount of money, and she gonna snatch that money up out his pocket so he can't satisfy nobody else. That's been proven.
Okay.
You can look at the numbers. Like I said, don't take my word for it. Look at the numbers and look at how many guys got their old lady on child support and how many girls got their guy on child support.
I mean, I get it, but is it because they really not trying to be vindictive or malicious like that? Or is it because they don't want to be bothered with them kids and they feel like, shit, take them kids, I don't want them no way?
No guy wants to give nobody $3,200 a month for some shit he already take care of. That's just real. I don't care how much money you make. So you just want me to hand you some money because you got our children, I have them too. So when I got them for the summer, does the child support come to me?
I think it should. I think right is right and fair is fair.
But it don't.
You know.
And that's the reality of it. In most cases, like I said, that I've heard, not all, but most cases that I heard, I knew a guy, he was every week he bring his child and him to get a haircut. He always got the child. The wife was in an awful situation. He helped her get on her feet. She got herself on her feet. She left and found his other guy, bought a house, he didn't even know it, and said he never did nothing for this child. Now the man can't even see the child because it's caught up in litigation.
Wow.
Child support, that shit is not fair.
It's not.
It's not fair to the third power. And I'm not saying that it's 100% of the time, but probably I can't put a percentage on it. But if I had to, I'd say about 85. If a woman go and say, like me, I got two children, well, I ain't gonna say two children, I have an adult and a child is 12. If she went down there right now and said, he never did nothing, them folk gonna automatically put an order in and go to talk about that money. Without no proof, no none of that shit. But how many times a dude can go say, she ain't never did nothing, man? Them hoes can be smoking dope and everything. They'll still send them cheers with that woman. You gotta have that shit on tape, 4 witnesses, a sheriff that witnessed it, police reports and all that shit in order for that shit to go vice versa.
I agree with you. It's not fair. And unfortunately, there have been too many women that have used it for malicious intent or just to get the money. Especially, you know, you call the little, whatever y'all call them, the little knob goblins or whatever that go after the athletes and, you know, the celebrities. I get it. It's not right. Carson, Foster said, Benny, who hurt you, sweet pea?
Oh, no. Well, let's go ahead and straight something out. I've been married this year for shit, I don't even know how long. What is it? I've been married 13 years and I got 2 children by the same woman. But remember, man, this is just a podcast and we're speaking on, you know, just speaking on it from a perspective.
A lot of it's hypothetical.
I ain't been hurt, but it do hurt me to see men that I know was great guys get slaughtered for absolutely nothing, though. But no, I ain't been hurt, though, man. No.
That I agree with. Carson said, what I've noticed, depending on how he feels about the woman, determines how he treats the child. Seen that. Foster.
I can agree to that.
Von Tree said, in Bennett's defense, sometimes the judge is biased, yes, and will rule in the mom's favor. And I've even heard lawyers say that exactly what you said. She got to be smoking dope, got back 30 witnesses, and a whole lot of evidence in order for the judge to go against the mom. And she'd be dead ass wrong.
Yeah.
But it is on the burden of the father to, and Foster said, that was a joke. No offense, that was a joke. Carson said, you're right, Benny Mac, about that child support is not fair. Now, we're almost at the end, so I'm going to circle it back to where we...
But hold on. Let me just throw this in there.
Go ahead.
Again, about the child support situation, too. To me, it's set up to break up families. Is only beneficial to the state. Because if you got a judge sitting there, now this is my humble opinion. If I'm a judge and I'm sitting there looking at Jay and Earl standing before thee.
Okay.
Jay say, I want child support. I can't afford these children and all that. A common sense judge, man or woman, should say, well, you can't afford them, Jay.
Give him.
Earl, can you afford them? Yes, I can, ma'am. Do you need support from her? I don't. I can take care of it. Case closed. Why would that even be an issue if I sat there and said, Jay, can you handle this car? No. But Benny you're not going to get it. House, car, credit card, none of that. So why would it be in a situation that's serious that, as for children, that a motherfucker told you I can't afford them, but you'll make me to pay her to try to catch her up to speed? She still ain't gonna be able to afford them because she may not even be financially responsible enough to do that.
Yeah.
And that's for him too, if it went that way.
Yeah. And the thing that I've seen sadly way too many times is someone lying about the father and then that man being drugged through the ringer for years with child support, even once it was proven that it wasn't his children or his child. It's a lot.
Then find out if the motherfucking children ain't here, they'll still make this nigga pay for it.
I've seen it.
Oh, shit.
I've seen it.
I would be laying in that jail cell like Joe Clark did when he put them chains on the door. I'd be in that bitch just like this. I'm not paying shit. On my mama. I swear I would.
Like this. Insane. So we're going to end on a lighter note. Last week we left off and we said we was going to circle back to it. Does size matter? You put me in the seat like, doesn't matter, Jay, doesn't matter. So I'm giving it back to you this week, Ben. It doesn't matter. Now, we're not talking about now because we know you're married, but let's go back in the past. Doesn't matter. Did you have some situations?
You talking about my whole day.
In your whole days, did you have some situations where the size just wasn't sizing for the cat?
Well, personally, I've never really had that experience.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Except maybe once I ran into somewhere it was like, stirring up coffee in a coffee cup. Because you got some women out here that they've been doing some unscrupulous things with that little cat and wore out the muscles. But I think it does matter, but in your very sexual years, yes, it does, because a woman, if she had an expectation of, I'm just gonna say 5 inches. I'm just gonna keep it standard.
Okay.
If her expectation is 5 inches, if a dude come with 2 of, she's probably gonna cheat on him.
Mm-hmm.
She's probably not gonna really be with him. Because if she's a stand-up woman, she's just gonna be like, this shit ain't gonna work. If she a woman that's like, okay, he got some money, he got everything else I want, she may stick around, but that don't mean that she ain't gonna have somebody else in the corner pocket like an 8-ball. So what I'm saying is, yes, it does matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it matters. And women who said don't lie.
Marissa said, men are considered not fit to take care of children. Why is that? Foster said, oh no, coffee cup. And then Marissa, she put an emoji like she dead fainted.
That's true. There's some women that have some big old ass cats.
They come in all shapes and sizes. They come in all shapes and sizes. But I thought that it was apropos that we had this conversation because somebody shared with me this guy dude, like, ladies, how many inches do you need to be satisfied? And the women was going in the comments. Somebody said she had a 2-inch dude and he kept it fine, he kept it right, and it worked. And then she's had some that were too long that just kind of laid there and didn't really do much. And then somebody said,
woman want that cat filled up. Cut that bullshit. She want that cat filled up.
Somebody said the MX is only 2.5 inches, baby. Listen. Another person said, I used to claim the emotion is most important, is the motion in the ocean. But
she want that girl.
I was married to a 3.5-inch club. Size matter.
Yeah, see, that's an honest woman. What her name is? What her name is, like, shout out. What her name is?
Alon Diggler.
Alon Diggler.
Yeah.
Oh, Alon. Hey, Alon. Hey, Alon. But that's an honest statement, though. Now, I will say this and be fact. I told her I try to be balanced. If she had never experienced no one else in life, and that was her first, and never nobody else, that may be satisfactory to her. But if she decide to break up with Willie and go with John, and John doubles what Willie had, she's not going back to Willie. I don't give a damn what they say unless she at an age where that cat don't work no more and shit, and she just won't be happy. She may accept him then because it's not about the sex at that time. But in her sexual peak, she want that cat filled up.
Marissa said that's right. Von Tree said too much can hurt. I agree with both of them. Most women that I know, not speaking for all women, most women that I know tend to say girth matters more than length. You know, now you want the length because you don't want it falling out every time you move. But
I'm trying to take the serious shit. All right. Every time you move, that shit just go.
But oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So most women prefer thickness over length. Preferences both. But if you got to choose, thickness over length, because like you said, you don't want to feel like he's trying.
You want a thick 2 inch. That works.
No, that's why I said we want to.
Hold your hand up. If you mess around, the cat length, let's just say, stop right here. Hold it up. The cat length, stop right here. You got the girth, and you stop right there.
Yeah.
You still gonna be like, Steve.
That's why I said we don't want it falling out now. We don't want it falling out. But so I did an unofficial poll. I ended up messaging quite a few of my Facebook friends that have tuned into different things I've done over the years. I ended up messaging some of my female friends and just asking. And I even asked some of my clients, What's your average preference? Most of them said in the range of like 5 to 7 inches. Because yes, we do understand there are men that get up to 12 inches and all of this and that. And you know, most of them said, okay, what is it? The circumference about 2-3 inches. That's comfortable. Most women want comfort. They don't, it's not that they're trying to run from the dick, but they don't want to feel like you're trying to rip their insides just to have sex, right?
Some women like that.
Now, some women do that for the demo.
That's what you call PP, that pleasure pain.
Yeah. Now I agree with you. And so this is why communication is key. Because you got to also understand, I think a lot of men willfully choose to not try to understand a woman's body. Hell, half of them can't even tell you what the different pieces and parts are. Sir, how are you acting like her personal OBGYN, but you don't even know what the fuck it is? Like, come on.
You got to keep in mind, too, the mind of a man. Sometimes we just want to beat the brakes up off your ass.
I mean, that's true. Sometimes you want to fuck, sometimes you want to make love, sometimes you want sex.
Because you gotta really like a person to want to explore all that. Because sometimes, and a guy may say, man, I just want to fuck JB. I'm going to fuck shit out of her. And not give a fuck about what your pleasure is.
Talking about established commitment in relationships. In that case, well, that, I mean, I can't argue with it. It's true. It's true. But in that, if you say, this is a person I really like, love, this person I really want to pleasure, then men have to be responsible. Because most women I've heard will say, I want to learn. If he like head, shit, let me get this head game up so he can get what he wants. I want him to be pleased. Whereas I hear most men be like, man, she taking too long to get wet. Jay, what am I doing? Does she not want me? No, it's not that she don't want you. It's you need to better understand a woman's body.
Okay, all right. I'm not gonna disagree with you on that, but I'm gonna throw another point on to
Oh, here we go.
To me, in my experiences before I got married, the average woman, if I'm messing with her,
okay,
and that little kitty cat ain't never wet, either she got something medically going on or she's not interested.
Now, so I'm wholeheartedly with you. We're talking about, let's say he got with one woman, we're going to say Chiquita, and Chiquita was wet after 30 seconds. Because she wanted her. But he might have also been putting that mind work throughout the day. So by the time she was ready, there was already a process in place where he was stimulating. Because most women that I know tend to be mental. You get it here, that's gonna flow.
Yeah. Or she could have wanted him.
She could have wanted him. It just could have been that.
It could have been the sweatpants he had on. It could be the way his beard trimmed. It could be his eyes. You know, there's someone like, who you think his eyes are pretty? You know, it could be his haircut.
All of that.
And then she already desire him. She can already be ready.
All of that.
Because it's the same way for a guy. If a woman's sitting there fumbling and bumbling with me, but it look like I got 3 balls, or my shit look like an overcooked noodle, that shit soft as hell, I don't want you.
I'm with you. But flip it. Now say he left Chiquita, they broke up for whatever reason. Now he's with Tiffany or Stacy. Now she may really want him. She may be vibing with him. He may be stroking all the things mentally, but her body is still different. It may take her 10-15 minutes to get revved up, get the oil moving, and get the parts lubricated. Doesn't mean she's not interested. This is why I say communication. And especially as women age.
Now it's different. Now I'm agree with you on the communication with that. You know, I do understand bodies go through changes. You know, she might have the sugars. She might have high blood pressure. She might have had a hysterectomy. She might have had an ovaries removed. I do understand.
That makes
like I said, I done read a book or two. At least once or twice. But a man, if he's really into his woman, he knows that he's gonna handle her accordingly. He may know he got the prime and he got to crank that. He got to crank that old motor up. But a younger woman with none of those issues, if that cat ain't getting wet for that guy, she's not interested.
And I say the same. If he ain't getting it up, it's like,
you know, he'll do it, or he'll mess around and he'll stuff that motherfucker. He'll squeeze the back end and make the head big. He'll squeeze the back end. And just enough to get in there.
Yeah.
And if you in there long enough, it's like, okay. And it'll get up, but it still ain't gonna be wrong. And it still ain't gonna be able to bust up concrete.
And a lot of them will put a ring on it. You know, I get it. So before we end it, the comment said, it's
What they say?
Patrice said it's the visual for me. You know, we got to demonstrate it sometime. That's why it's after dog. Just be real still so it don't fall out. Oh God.
Oh, there you got no motion. So okay, what you can't do like this, you just you know what I mean? Just move your shoulders and wiggle. Yeah.
A little bit, just a little bit. She said, don't be over here feeling don't be over here feeling around and going the wrong hole. Better be careful. Listen, if
it's that little, ain't gonna make no difference that way.
And if he don't know the difference in the holes, we got bigger fish to fry. Or
hold up now. He may know the difference in the holes.
He may just want that one.
Oh, he may want that one, or she walled out in both of them. There's some women out here walled out in both of them holes too now. Let's be for real now. Everybody, hey.
I can't, hey, it is what it is.
Big enough to drop a golf ball in there without touching the But hey, who am I?
Marissa said men are not taught about their body nor a female's body for that matter. They have no clue. Yeah. That's true in a lot of cases. And then she said, that's true, Benny. If we're not interested, it's a no-go. He could be fine as hell, but a no. And then medical issues are a thing. It takes communication and understanding and knowing your limitations. See, we go back to what I always say, communication is key.
If something going on physically, I promise you, if I'm dealing with a woman, if I wasn't married and I was dealing with a woman and I know she didn't have some physical issues, I'm gonna handle a whole different way.
Yeah.
But don't come in that bitch like you fat. And you got that sandpaper pussy there right here mad because I'm horny and shit and you talk that shit and know.
Can't back it up.
Yeah. No, don't do that. Now, just like you said, I'm with the communication.
Yeah.
But that's coming down being honest.
Hey.
Future said, I'm just being honest.
I'm just being honest. So y'all, we just being honest. Get in the comments. Tell us what you think. What you think, man? What you thinking? How y'all feeling? What's this? Is this triggering y'all? Is this making y'all think about some things, bringing up some memories, some reminiscing? Is it some good that came up in your memories?
Most people that done have some good will revisit it.
Have you circled the block a time or two?
A lot of them circled the block a time or two. You being modeled 17, 18
times.
I'm telling you, because good sex ain't just good sex. Sometimes good sex fall with chemistry too.
That's
why you got a lot of people out here cheating.
Yeah.
I ain't saying it's right, but if we're gonna be honest, shit, that's just what it is.
I ain't lie. You right when you right now. But tell us what you think. What's on your mind? Who is it bringing up for you? And what questions do you want to ask us for the next upcoming episodes? Pop them in the comments. Tell us what you think. Make sure you're hitting that like, share button. Make sure you're tagging your people, even your enemies, because hell, everybody fucking, and we all need to be talking about it. Anything you want to give them before we close it out?
Yes. For all the people that's in the comments that's within a 50-mile radius, tomorrow, got a comedy show at the Comedy Club Start On. And it's going to be a great show. And I hope you can come out. The doors open at 6:15. Show starts promptly at 7:30. It normally lasts about an hour and a half, maybe an hour, 40 minutes, something like that. But I promise you, I definitely bring you that funny for a little money. And there's always something to laugh at. Go to stardome.com and get them tickets. I'd love to see you there.
Yeah. Make sure you send me that flyer and we'll put it on the page because Benny is one of the sponsors for the podcast. So make sure you click on the Sex Intimacy Power or the Come Sit With Us page. And we'll make sure that information is there. Hands down, I got to give it to you. I've enjoyed the shows. I'm an introvert. It take a lot to get me out the house, but
he's on sale too, man. I got these hats. I got the shirts, and I also got a shirt that say "With Your Line Ass."
You know, I still got mine.
All right, you gotta wear it. You ain't got no.
I gotta wear it. I gotta pull it out. I still got it. I gotta put out. And I'm gonna say I'm an introvert, take a lot to get me out the house, but y'all, every show I've been to, it's always worth it. So we'll make sure that information is on the page.
She ain't no with line. She be telling the truth right now.
And if you're looking for mental health support, if you're looking for wellness coaching or even wellness training to offer to your clients, make sure that you check out the Soul Nourishing Mentorship. We'll also drop that information on the page. Sorry, Q and Michael couldn't make it. Hopefully they'll be back with us next week for the After Dark episodes. And one last reminder. Tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what you're talking about so we can make sure these topics are relevant for y'all because some of y'all fucked up. Y'all need some help.
We trying to help. Comment you want to read before we get off here?
Von Tree said lube.
Lube? KY Gel or Astroglide?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I've seen it in CVS, but I've seen it in there. And normally when I was younger, that was known for freaking shit. What are they, Von Tree? Yeah, Von Tree know what I'm talking about. Okay,
you know what I'm saying? If y'all got some recommendations, pop them in the comments. Ooh, What's your favorite lube, y'all? Is it flavorless? Is what taste is it? Why you like it?
That freak shit. I don't know
What-
nothing
what-
about no
what's that
flavor.
going on?
Oh, Lord. So, all right.
What's y'all favorite? We gonna see you next week. We gonna see you next week, y'all.